Hi guys, thanks for subscribing, thanks for your comments. So today I'm going to make a vocal video from one of my songs. So I'd like to have some characters singing a song with lyrics.
When it was cool to be strange, but now it seems better to be mediocre.
So let's get into it. So I want to look at some new features that Neural Frames has added to the website. One is the possibility to use two characters in the same video. In the past, you could only use one character. You'd have to make separate projects. For example, in this one, I've used two characters that I created. So another new feature which they added is that you can now add reference images. So you don't need to describe the world in which you want the video to take place. You don't need to describe what the video should look like. You can add reference images. Just remember, a lot depends on what AI model you use. For example, here I was using Kling Turbo Pro or Seedance Pro Fast. It really changes the way your video is going to look. If you want more of an introduction to neural frames, you can check out the first video I did in which I use Autopilot. I'll post that up here somewhere. You can also check out my second video where I use text to video, which is another option in neural frames, where you have more control over the camera movements and you can add effects to your video based on the stems in your music. So the different instruments will determine the effects on your video. But that option called text to video doesn't include a vocal option. You can't make a vocal video, which would be a nice thing if you could have a character that sings your lyrics and then be able to control the video at the same time. But for now, let's dive into making a vocal video. Here we are on the introduction screen of neuralframes.com. Now, okay, here are my projects. So I'm going to create a video from scratch here on the left. And when you go in here, it gives you the option Autopilot, text to video, or frame by frame. So I covered text to video in my previous tutorial, but today we're going to do Autopilot again. And here are some of my own songs that I've been using. So this is quite an old song. So basically it sounds like this.
Remember the days when it was cool to be strange.
Okay, so as you know, if you've followed my first tutorial, or if you have any experience in neural frames, you can select which part of the song you want to process. Now you can see here it picks up the lyrics to your songs automatically. Okay, so I've chosen a section of my verse just before the chorus where there's some singing, and it's picked up all my lyrics. So I've set the aspect ratio here to 69. It's going to process 30 seconds. And here I'm going to choose my character. So I've already created some characters. You can add a new character here if you like. Enter a description of your character. So you can describe your character, or you can choose a style for your character. And if you choose a style, it can be auto, or you can choose one of the presets, or you can generate in our default style, or you can choose your styles. These are some of my own styles. You can add a new style. This means you train the AI. You're training your own model. So you can drop some images here. I think you need a minimum of 20 images and a maximum of 199 images. So basically you can create your own character based on your own model. So you could add photos of a person, maybe yourself, different photos. Here it says variation is key. So you want to select different backgrounds, lighting conditions, and angles. So yourself from the back, from the side, in different lighting conditions, etc. One thing to take note when you're uploading your images, something which happened to me a few times while I was creating my own AI model, was make sure that your images, your files, are not too big, because you'll end up having to do everything again. Like last time I did it, I uploaded maybe more than 100 images, and then only to find out that there was an error. So I had to do everything all over again. So I would suggest collecting all your images in one place and then uploading the whole lot and maybe reducing the file size if you can. Maybe to JPEG so the images are not too large, because otherwise you'll end up having to upload everything again and it will be a waste of time, like it happened to me. So I've been there, done that. I'm just trying to save your ass. So this is if we want to create a character and train a style. Okay, so let's go back to choosing a character. So let's say we've created a character. I've created these two. So I'm going to choose Philo, this little boy, and this blue zombie dude. So you just click on the characters that you want, and now you can choose more than one. So you can just select two and it will give it this reddish border. So I think you can use more than two characters. So I've got these two characters selected. Apply selection. Okay, and it's 30 seconds. Now I want to use one of the new features, well, the second new features, that you can add your own reference images to inspire your video concept and visual style. So you click on personalize, and then you can upload images. Instead of having to describe how you want the video to look, unless you don't have reference images and you just have a concept in your head, then you can describe it and choose a visual style that you would like to use. Okay, so you can add up to 4 images. I suggest if you want something more in depth, a more detailed visual style, I guess, then I would suggest like training your own AI model with this in your styles, adding a new style. So you can train your own model in that way. Like this one, I made a new model using my drawings, which I haven't yet used, but I'm going to try it soon in this tutorial. Okay, so we can use 4 images. I have these images which I created of a city because I want this video to be in this futuristic dystopian city. So I created these images using Nano Banana on a website called Krea, that's Krea.ai. And I talked about it in my previous tutorial I did. Right, so let's upload images. Okay, so now it's added these 4 images. Right, and then you can click on Analyze Images and it will kind of read the images and create a world for you based on these. Now I've already done this. On the right here you can see I've done this with these images already, and this is the world that it created. So I'll show you that, and then I'll go back and I'll actually use my own style that I created with my drawings. But this is what it created when I used those images of the city.
Don't you remember the days when it was cool to be strange? But now it seems better to be mediocre.
Yeah, so in this video I used Kling 2.5 Turbo Pro, the AI model. It's the second most expensive model that you can use. It was okay, but some things were kind of weird, like this kid's eyes. A bit strange. But other than that, I mean, the surrounding is pretty cool. I like this, what's going on around here. Another thing is the zombie's lips hardly move. That's pretty cool. And then it did this. I'm not sure what this is all about with this light. Yeah, so once it's created these videos for you, you can check out the separate clips. And if you enter one of the clips, you might see that it's actually longer than how it looks in the final video that it's put together. So for example, if I go into this clip, you see it's longer than it actually was in the whole video. Okay, I'll show you another video I made using those reference images and also Kling 2.5 Turbo Pro. Okay, this was without any singing. the smirk on the boy's face. Pretty funny. But I like the background, how it's like a Geiger kind of style, which was actually in the images I made. I'm a big fan of Geiger's art. And here's another video using the same 4 images.
Remember the days when it was cool to be strange. But now it seems better to be mediocre.
I like this part. If you saw at the end here, it had the zombie for a moment. Now, if you go into the separate clips, you'll see it's a bit longer than it is in the full piece, which is quite cool. So they give you an extra few seconds, because I think they divide each clip into 5 seconds. So the dude keeps singing even after the music stops. Don't you remember the days when it was cool? But anyway, that's what I did with those images. Now I want to try something different, because I want to make a video with my 2 characters, but using a visual style that I've created. So I'm going to choose my 2 characters, apply selection, and then the visual style is going to be this called draw. So you see how I uploaded all these drawings of mine. In the end, I didn't upload that many because I kept getting an error that the files were too large. Okay, and I'm going to select this style. So now the visual style is my own. Okay, and you can add a video concept. So I'm going to describe what kind of video I want. Okay, I just wrote a basic concept that I have. I want them to be in a forest anyway. Let's see what happens. And then let's go ahead and create the video. When you click on create video, you can choose a classic video, lyric showcase. This is where you want to choose vocal video, because you want the characters to be singing. So this is an important step. Lyric showcase will just show your lyrics. I mean, the characters won't be singing, but it will show the lyrics. I've seen a few videos, it has some pretty nice results, but we're going to go with vocal video today. Okay, so it came up with these initial images. They usually come out quite different once you've rendered it, because it depends on which video model you use. So I'm just thinking, I usually use Kling 2.5 Turbo Pro, but today I want to use the most expensive one and see how it renders, see what happens. So we've got everything selected here, and here it tells you how much your video is going to cost. So 72 plus 381 acorns. The technique is vocal video. So if you're happy with its description, you can go ahead and create keyframes. But you can also edit these descriptions. So if you're not happy with it, you can change it. And then if you're not happy with these, you can regenerate the scenes as well. It costs 3 acorns, but I'm going to go ahead with this. I think it's fine. So create keyframes. Will also be interesting to see if there's a big difference between the Seedance AI model compared to the other one I always use. Okay, it usually takes a while, a few minutes, so you've got time to go and have a coffee, make some tea, or have a little snack. Okay, it seems to have created the clips. Now, as you can see, the images are quite different to the initial images that it had. It's better, but it depends on which AI model you use. The images look pretty cool. Interesting. So it used the visual style that I had created. Strange. And this one, very psychedelic. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with that. It should be 30 seconds of video. So if I create the video, it's going to be 407 acorns. And I do have enough at the moment. So create video. Let's see what is going to happen. Strangely, I've noticed that as it's creating the video, it's actually changed some of the keyframes. Like this one was different in the initial image. This one was different. I guess it depends on the AI model, then it kind of just does its own thing. This was also different. It has a mind of its own. Okay, it seems to have finished. Took about 10 minutes, and let's see what it did.
Remember the days when it was cool to be strange, but now it seems better to be mediocre. And don't you remember the days when it was cool to be strange, but now it seems better to be mediocre.
Well, quite impressive. I'm always impressed initially, and then after I watch it for a few times, the novelty wears off. I like all the psychedelic stuff. Freaky tree, this was quite nice. The moving Avatar, Lord of the Rings kind of trees. This has like an animated cartoon Disney kind of feel. Reminds me of Jungle Book. I quite like this. And I quite like what Seedon's model does. I think it is better than Kling 2.5 Turbo Pro, hence the price, because it is slightly more expensive. Well, I hope that was helpful, focusing on making vocal videos to your songs with lyrics and checking out the new features on Neural Frames, like adding more than one character and adding reference images. I think there's a lot you can do with this. So please let me know in the comments what you think, and if you would like me to focus on something else, what should I do next? I'm thinking of doing other videos, putting my music through Suno and then making a tutorial about that. And thanks for watching and for subscribing. Thanks for all your comments, and see you in the next video. Keep on creating. Take care.